Hi, this is Gil Robles, and what you see me working on here in this video is a drawing I did in graphite of a photo reference that I took. I usually do on my lunch hour at work something, sketches, paintings. I've been doing a lot of gouache paintings at work, and but I came to work and I didn't realize that I was going to do this pencil drawing, and I wanted to do something different. So I took out this reference that I had, reference photo that I had took, and I said, let me work this up and let me do something different today. And I wasn't prepared for it, so I didn't have the ideal tools. The pencil that I'm using is a mechanical pencil, and it's fine to start off with as I lay in or map out the drawing here, but it's not a great tool to finish the drawing with. And I didn't have my usual drawing board with me. It's not a drawing board, but it's something like it. It's a little my sketch box, and where I usually tilt the pad and have it at the slant. So I had to use this makeshift cardboard and a 3-hole puncher and so forth. But it works. Sometimes you're in a situation where you just got to use what you have at hand. And so later on I'll be using better tools. Now this is a condensed version of a longer video that I have. I'm making it available on Gumroad and also on Patreon. But I just thought I might post a condensed version here where the other one is in real time, and I talk about the drawing and so forth. And but this one I sped up, and in certain areas, in other areas I'll slow it down where I need to explain whatever I need to explain as the drawing progresses. But like I said, the tools that I had on the day wasn't ideal. Now I did this over a period of like 3 different sessions, not taking the full hour on all those sessions. Now I did stop and went to my bag, and I knew I had a stomp, and that helps with blending and with spreading out these darks and so forth, and because that small mechanical pencil is really difficult to work with when it comes to filling up the drawing and so forth. I need a larger pencil that I can make much broader strokes with, especially trying to cover the shadow areas and so forth. Once I get past that mapping, which is basically linear, which actually the mechanical pencil is ideal for. But I'm past that time now, so it gets a little tedious, and I have to build this drawing up with what I have at hand. But it is what it is, and this stomp comes in handy, as a matter of fact. So, but what it does mean is that for this session, I'm going to have to build up the lights and darks, or the darks, slowly as I go on, because I can only cover so much with this mechanical pencil. And the danger here is also that because the lead is so small, I don't want to zero in on the or noodle into the smaller details. I want to try and think very broadly as I go on. So I keep this in mind, especially when working with the mechanical pencil. It's very hard to not go into details. It's much easier, and later on when I get the average number 2 pencil, which is fine, because what I can do is I can work with the side of the pencil as well as the point of the pencil. So there's a lot more flexibility when you're working with that tool. The stump, that, like I said, does come in handy, but a larger pencil, a good pencil, would be much better at this point. This is just a bit tedious, and it slows me down, and the drawing winds up taking up this entire session, this lunch hour, and I can only get so much resolved. But I mean, you work with the tools that you have, and you bear in mind the limitations that you have with these tools, so that you got. I have to add in what I believe is necessary in order to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So I have to think about these things as I go on, and trying not to be trying to master the tools rather than just to go with the flow. So, like I said, of course you can see I've sped up this part of the video as I fill in these different areas, and this is taking up that whole hour to do this, due to the tools. Now, in the video, let me see what I can recall. I talked about, just as I go on with this drawing, all the things that I keep in mind as I draw, and that's especially the things that I've learned before, the things that I've learned in art class, the things that I've learned from other drawings that I've either had successfully accomplished or failed at, but all of them are lessons, and all of them I apply to the drawing that I am currently working on, so that because what I'm trying to do is to improve with each drawing, with each painting, and that works best when I'm consistent as far as drawing on a daily basis. Now, I've heard it said there've been a lot of things, a lot of opinions that go around on YouTube, on the internet. There's some people who believe that you need to draw every day. Here is this is the second day of working on this drawing, and I have a better setup. There's my sketch box, a better set of pencils. I still have my stomp and an eraser, and so I'm good to go now. And this is I feel more confident with the tools that I'm using. But I was talking about there are a lot of opinions about how one should go about working, whether working on a drawing or a painting on a daily basis is too stressful, because there's other things, there's life and so forth, or whether it is necessary in order to get better at drawing and painting, that you develop that discipline, that you reserve time to do this. Now, I can tell you what I am in the opinion of, and it's very hard to do, but I believe that one needs to, if this is what you really want to do, if this is what you aspire to, is to become a better and better artist, then I think it's important that you work on your drawing or painting daily. And I think it's important that you set time during the day to work on your art. You see, in just about everything that requires a discipline, whether it's sports or the arts, music, and so forth, that the people who are really good at what they do work hard to attain their level of mastery. So it becomes important, in my opinion, to do that. I see, for me, the artists who I admire the most are those who apply this discipline, who in their daily life, their art is a part of their daily life. And I really believe that if you're going to get better, you're going to make this a part of your daily life. And really, that's not to say that other things aren't important. Of course they are. I am a dad. I am a husband. I do work a 9 to 5. So it's a challenge for me to do this. But I believe it's a necessity. It's being true to who I am. I have to be true to who I am. So I make it a point to draw and paint every day. I am not comfortable. Now, there are days where I miss it. There are days where I just can't get to it because life. and that happens. But I'm not beating myself over the head with it. But what I do feel is that I feel like there's something that I didn't accomplish that day that was important to me. And that's what art is. It's important to me. Just like being a dad is important to me, and being a husband is important to me. Now, I'm not going to, uh, I'm not going to say which one is the best or which one I prefer the most, or whatever. That's not something that I need to think about. I, um, I think that one of the people that I admire set an example that, you know what, I'm talking about somebody in another field altogether, is a musician, is Louis Armstrong. Now, when he found the woman who he eventually married and stayed with, and the love of his life and so forth, he was very appreciative. She brought him things that he didn't have in his life before. She helped make a home for him. But one of the things that he said he appreciated about her is that she understood that his music always came first, that it was always important to him. And it was always, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have a good family life. He had a great one, and he had a happy one. And all these things are attainable. But this is the finished drawing. Again, the more complete video is available on Gumroad and on Patreon. I'll leave the links below. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this preview. Thank you. Till next time. Bye.